Well, let's start at the beginning, really. Let's talk about what happens before the event.
Yeah, definitely. Well, there's definitely a lot of questions you can ask yourself, and so finding out where to start is going to be very tricky. I always like to look at it from the ROI standpoint. If you're going to make an investment, it's got to be worthwhile. So take a look at, the numbers and your objectives. Is your objective going to be branding? Is it going to be requiring and gathering new leads? Is it going to be education? It can be networking. It can be a lot of different things. But based off your objective, you should definitely have some kind of way to measure that so you know if the event was actually worthwhile or not. So that for me would be the very first step. And once you have that measurement, then everything else is working backwards. Understanding how many people it even makes sense to take, because every single person is going to need to be able to bring something back to the table. So what does that kind of look like? If it's going to be leads, does it make sense for one person to capture, I don't know, 10 leads, or can you break it up by 3 people? Is each person going to take only 3 of the 10, or are they each going to be assigned 10? There's a lot of things to consider. I would say that depending on, your budget for the year, first take a look, kind of a bird's eye view, how much of that entire budget do you want to dedicate to events? And then from there, understand how many events, or if there are any flagship events that you want to go to. I think that depending on your objective, it might make sense for example, brand awareness to do multiple events, but just as an attendee, versus maybe those bigger companies might just choose 1 or 2 flagship events and go full out on sponsorships. So there's a lot of different options there. And based off that, you also have to decide, are you going to be an attendee? Are you going to be an exhibitor or a sponsor, or do a sponsorship? That's all going to define what kind of resources you need to take. Are you shipping them out? Are you producing them? Do you already have them in stock? That's when you might want to turn to other resources and partners in terms of holding your items, because the logistics of preparing for an event is also a whirlwind of things. So first and foremost, yeah, understanding what's your objective. From there, pulling out metrics. And then thirdly, I would say take that backwards route of planning in reverse as to who you want to take, how you want to take over those events. And again, what is your main goal going?